All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We're back from our closed session, and we'll go ahead and reconvene our meeting. And to start off with the Pledge of Allegiance and moment of silence, I'm going to invite our trustee, student trustee, Omkar.
If everyone can please stand. Face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So, I'll move on to a small moment. You're sitting.
Sit down. Sit, yeah.
Oh.
We should have just told you, just stand up on the table and do it, but that's okay.
Pull your microphone to you.
Just this past weekend, we celebrated the 230th Columbus Day, recently rebranded as Indigenous Peoples Day. Although I most definitely was not alive when Columbus landed or American colonists pushed west, I wanted to take a moment and recognize the struggles that Indigenous peoples have faced in this country for generations. After hundreds of years, they still struggle to keep their beautiful culture intact as their rights have come into scrutiny time and time again, and their land has shrunken time and time again. So now, I would like to hold a moment of silence to pay our respects to the resilient community and celebrate their achievements. Thank you.
Thank you, Omkar. All right, I'm going to go ahead and proceed to our closed session report. Mr. Bryan.
Thank you. 4.1, no reportable action taken regarding public employee performance evaluation, superintendent. 4.2, no reportable action taken regarding anticipated litigation. 4.3, the Board of Trustees took formal action with a 5-0 vote to accept settlement on claim number AUHSD 93-01, case number 30-2020-01134-083-CU-PO-CJC. 4.4, the Board of Trustees unanimously approved the settlement agreement in OAH case number 20220200472, resolving all issues in students' due process complaint by providing compensatory education and other reimbursement. 4.5, no reportable action taken regarding negotiations. 4.6, no reportable action taken regarding personnel. 4.7, the Board of Trustees unanimously voted to dismiss employee HR-2022-23-03. 4.8, the Board of Trustees took formal action with a 5-0 vote to approve the expulsions of students 22-01, 22-03, 22-05, and 22-06. 4.9, no reportable action taken regarding existing litigation.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Bryan. I'm going to go ahead and do the recognitions now, but I think our first recognition goes to Jillian, but I don't see Jillian here yet. All right, I'm going to go ahead and go to 6.2, and we're going to do the 15 and under boys national baseball team recognition for John Short. Come on down, John. I know we'll probably go down there. Well, we'll probably, everybody get down because we're going to get a picture with him as well because he's going to be famous. All right. Whoa. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about John here, and then we'll go ahead and take a picture with him and maybe have him say a few words if you're not nervous. John Short is a student at Cypress High School who was selected to be a part of the 15 under boys national baseball team. Mr. Short represented our country in Sonora, Mexico, where the USA baseball national team defeated Cuba in the World Cup championship final of the WBSC under 15 baseball World Cup 2022, and that deserves a big round of applause. Being selected to this team is a long and arduous process, which is capped off with being one of 20 of the best 15-year-olds in the United States, and congratulations. And John competed in Mexico, not just for our country, but he also represented Cypress High School and the Anaheim Union High School District. So let's give him another big round of applause. Congratulations. Let's give another big round of applause to John. And I don't see Jillian yet, so what we'll do is go ahead and start off with the certificate presentation. And this is 6.3 on the agenda, Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math. Tech Trek Camp, Kristen Valmediano. Walker Junior High School student was selected to receive a $950 campusship from the La Palma Cerritos American Association of University of Women to attend the STEM Tech Trek Camp at Whittier College during the summer. The STEM Tech, oh man, that's going to get me out. All right. You guys know what it is. So it's a one-week academic residential camp that immerses girls in different STEM subjects. Through daily STEM classes, hands-on workshops, educational field trips, and exposure to female role model in the STEM fields, they can learn about STEM careers and see themselves as future scientists, engineers, mathematicians, and computer scientists. So we'll go ahead and present a certificate. And go ahead, sure.
I'm Toby Balma from the La Palma Cerritos AAUW. I want to thank you for recognizing Kristen. The American Association of University Women is a national organization of over 175,000 college graduates, students, and other supporters. AAUW seeks to advance equity for women and girls through advocacy, education, and philanthropy. There's no barriers to full participation in AAUW on the basis of gender, race, creed, age, sexual orientation, national origin, disability, or class. Membership is open to all graduates who hold an associate's degree or higher, or college student. So therefore, we're inviting everybody here. I don't know if you're televised, but we are inviting board members. Please join us if you believe in equity and education for women and girls, and you believe that girls need a STEM education. This is the place, the organization to belong to. Kristen is fabulous. You've heard that she goes to Walker Middle School. Our branch raised money, you heard $950 for her. Tech Trek has been going on for over 20 years for rising 8th graders. We get recommendations from the teachers. We interview the girls. She was #1, so that's a lot to be proud of. And as I said, it's been going on for over 20 years. You heard that we have workshops. There were workshops in anatomy, architecture, biology, crime scene investigation, and robotics. And she's going to talk about her favorite field trip, but they had field trips to actually a real cadaver lab in Whittier. It was held at Whittier College. So please, AAUW, we can find you, you can find us. We invite you to join. Now, Kristen.
Did you know that nearly half of the workforce is women? However, only really 27% of women have STEM careers. Today, I am pleased to share with you my experience at Tech Trek. For some more information, Tech Trek is a science, technology, engineering, and math STEM design camp that helps young, extraordinary girls going into 8th grade get an interest in STEM career choices, ideas, and knowledge. I would like to thank AAUW for helping hundreds of young girls like me invest in blossoming STEM futures. And I would like to thank the La Palma Cerritos AAUW branch for sponsoring me at the Whittier College STEM Tech Trek camp. To get started, my time at Tech Trek is truly something that I will always remember and hold dear to my heart. During my time at Tech Trek, I had many hands-on experiences and participated in various experiments that helped me learn about STEM. The day after all the girls arrived and got checked in, we had our core classes and 2 workshops. The core class I took was in biology. We made an ecosphere with a decomposer, a producer, and a consumer. In class, we learned about the 6 kingdoms of life and how certain bugs reactions to changes in their environment. My workshops were designed for learning about pH levels and fossils. With the pH levels workshops, we tested out a variety of liquids like vinegar, bleach, and detergent with a substance that changed color when the liquids were acidic or alkaline. For learning about fossils, We got to learn about certain locations where they might be found at, and we got to dig up our own small fossils and keep them. The next workshops displayed fascinating facts and information about plastics and lotion. We got to make our own lotion and add scents to it with the help of professionals. For learning about plastics, we carefully stuck skewers into a balloon to observe how the rubber would react. Then we saw how much we could fit into it before it popped. For the last few days, we worked on projects that we planned to present to our parents on the last day and took 2 field trips. One field trip was to the Downey Memorial Space Center, and the second field trip was to a cadaver lab in Whittier. Through the whole experience, I would proudly say that my favorite part was the cadaver lab. Although some girls in the camp seemed uncomfortable or uneasy, I felt so happy and grateful for being able to have the opportunity to learn about human bodies, organs, and their functions. One day that was really significant for me was the night we met with 6 women with professional STEAM careers. Since I met all the wonderful and incredible women at Tech Trek Camp, I've been thinking about having a career in psychology. Tech Trek Camp affected and impacted me deeply, and I left the camp with more knowledge and confidence in how I wanted to build my path in life. Thus, I have a lot of thanks to be expressed to the sponsors of the Tech Trek Camp, AUW California, because of all the lessons I learned and the fun experiences that they provided.
All right, so we got Jillian in the house. So it's 6.1 now. We'll go back to 6.1 for recognition. So we are here to, I just got to tell you, Jillian, we're all very proud of you. So I know everybody's going to hear what she's accomplished. So Jillian Albayati is a former student at Anaheim High School and the first female to ever pitch in a CIF Southern Section Championship baseball game. Let's give a big round of applause for that. Jillian was also named Orange County's Girls Athlete of the Year by the Orange County Register, and Ms. Albayati participated in the USA Baseball Women's National Team. She has received an Excellence in Sports Performance Yearly Award, better known as ESPY, for Women in Sports. And as a result of her accomplishments, Jillian Albayati was offered and accepted a scholarship to play softball for California State University, San Marcos. Let's give her a big round of applause. I know this introduction doesn't do justice, so I'm going to invite Robert Saldivar to give your stats so that we know what you accomplished.
Thank you, Board President Aljabar. And just to mention, there's a lot of stats that we could mention, and we're only going to share a few of them just because of time, right? But just wanted to let you guys know, first and foremost, I want to acknowledge the fact that her parents are both Anaheim High School graduates as well. Her head coach, Coach Burr, is a Anaheim High School alum as well. And there's a few of us in here. So a lot of, including myself and even Mr. Hernandez, and there's a lot of pride, not only for our district, but for our school, Anaheim High School. And Jillian, as I mentioned before, you just made us so proud over the 4 years that you were there, not only with your accomplishments, but just your leadership as a student athlete, and just the things, the way you were on your team with your teammates in classmates on campus. Just a all-around awesome person. So again, made us very proud. So just listen to some of these stats. Jillian was a 4-year varsity starter. Okay, so she arrived her freshman year, not only made the program, but made the varsity team. Her senior year, she was 12-0 as a senior with a 1.51 ERA and a 333 batting average. That's 333 batting average is better than Mr. Hernandez and mine combined when we played at Anaheim, okay? Just wanted to let you know, okay? She, in her 4 years as a starter on the mound, on the bump, as we say, she finished 20-0, okay? That's awesome. She was also, I know Board President Jabbar mentioned that there was the first of many, right? First to pitch in a CIF championship game, right? There's first of many. So I'm going to just a couple more that I wanted to make sure we all were aware. First to pitch in a California state playoff game, and also the first female to play in the North-South Orange County All-Star game. So again, just super proud of not only your accomplishments, Jill, but just you as a person and, your legacy at Anaheim High School. And we're always going to remember you and, all the little girls around that got to see you are looking up and want to be just like you. So great job. Very proud of you.
All right, we're going to jump ahead a little bit on our presentations, and we're going to do the Disney Resort AIM and Workforce Development presentation. That's number 8 in the agenda. So the Disneyland Resort is both a funding sponsor and a participating business in Anaheim's Innovative Mentoring Experience, also called AIM, which provides students with work-based learning experiences ranging from one-day visits to businesses to professional internships to prepare students for college, career, and life success. Over the last 4 summers, Disneyland Resort has hosted students in work-based mentoring as part of the AIM Summer Internship Program. So I'd like to invite Kim Chips, Manager of Corporate Citizenship for Disneyland Resort, who will share with the board the trustees' presentation on the work-based mentoring program. Oh, I'll have Jaron introduce you.
No worries. So I'm going to actually introduce MJ Cook, who is our outstanding AIM program administrator, and just thank her for her leadership. And then she will introduce our amazing partners with Disney, and then, of course, our wonderful students who got to participate this summer with our friends at Disney. So, MJ, I'll go ahead and turn it over to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Board President, Board of Trustees, Superintendent, and Cabinet. It is such an honor to be here tonight and introduce the Disneyland Resort team. And at this time, I'd like to call up Larry Labrato to initiate tonight's presentation.
Thank you, MJ. Good evening, President Jabbar, members of the Board of Trustees, Superintendent Matsuda, and to the entire Anaheim Union High School District team. My name is Larry Labrato. I'm with the Disneyland Resort, and here with me tonight, you're going to hear from my colleague, Kim Chips, as well as 2 of your AIM students, and then a surprise at the end. But first, thank you for allowing us to join you here this evening to share some of our experiences with the AIM program, and to say it's been outstanding is an understatement. The Disneyland Resort has proudly hosted AIM students for the past few years, both in person and virtually, but it's an important program. It's especially at this moment in time where it aligns perfectly with our goal of helping students prepare for that next step in life, be it going off to college or entering the workforce. And we really applaud your leadership and vision for establishing this program that really gives students a chance to explore the real world. And here to tell you a little bit more about our experience with the program and its impact is Kim Chips, Senior Manager for Corporate Social Responsibility at Disneyland. Thank you.
Thank you, Larry, and thank you all very much for allowing us to come here tonight and tell you a little bit about our program with your amazing AIM students. So we, as Larry mentioned, we've hosted AIM students 3 years. First in 2019, we hosted 3 students in person. You can see them up on the top left on the slide there. And we really didn't know what to expect. You know, we knew they were high school students, they were high achieving, they were motivated, but they blew us away. We took a slightly different approach with our program than maybe some of the other organizations. We really wanted to expose these students to as many different leaders and career opportunities at the Disneyland Resort as we could. And so these high school students met with 40 different leaders from different departments across the resort. We gave them some simulated projects to work on, and we were so impressed by them. We came back to the district and offered $350,000 to continue the AIM program and offer this opportunity to even more students. Fast forward to 2020, we had a little bit of an unexpected hiccup, so unfortunately we were not able to participate that year. But in 2021, we were so impressed that the district so quickly was able to pivot to a virtual format. That gave us the opportunity to once again host students, and we decided to double our number of students. We went from 3 to 6 in 2021, hosted them virtually. We had no idea how that was going to go in a virtual format, but they showed us they were just as motivated and driven in that virtual format. We gave them all the same opportunities as the students had in person, and once again, we were extremely impressed. Fast forward to this past summer, 2022, we decided to take on 10 students this year. We were still in a virtual format, but we introduced kind of a hybrid setting. We did bring them in for a day. And I don't want to say too much about that 2022 experience because I want you to hear from our students. So first, I want to introduce you to Jimmy Chi. He's going to come up and tell you a little bit about his experience at the Disneyland Resort. Jimmy.
Move this right here. Good evening, everyone. A few months ago, I never would have guessed I would be in this position. To that, I am grateful for the opportunities that were given to me, the people that I've gotten to learn about, and the chance to meet you all. For me, working with the Disneyland Resort was an unforgettable experience. And I will refer to it as DLR for the rest of my speech. As a student who grew up aimless, pressured by parents to pursue careers I had no interest in at all, I signed up for AIM thinking it was my way out, a way to find a definitive answer on everything regarding my inevitable future. Ironically, it only made things ever so more complicated. Through AIM, I was able to work with DLR's Workforce Management Department. I had the chance to partner with a professional in the field, Arlanda Van Horn, who gave me valuable information, not only about her job, but her wild journey that assured me that everyone finds their place in the world at some point. I had the chance to demonstrate my learning in a cohort project that proudly displayed all our team's efforts in an amazing presentation. More importantly, I got the chance to find out what it took to operate in a professional environment, especially in communication and collaboration. Building relationships and a social network was a large part of the AIM program, and some of the people I met I still keep in touch with. Every peer and student had their own interests and stories, with distinct backgrounds unbeknownst to me. The program broadened my views from beyond my own high school and showed me that it's not such a small world after all. Specifically with DLR, we provided guest speakers daily who went out of the way to educate and provide us advice about our futures. In the end, everyone I met with, I achieved some sort of emotional connection with. Because of AIM, my long-term anxiety about my future has also been relieved. Instead of dreading the choices ahead of me, I now await them and the steps beyond. Through workforce management, my interest in business administration has also grown, but that isn't to say my future is set in stone. I still have questions to answer and holes to fill, but AIM was a step in the right direction. To cap this off, I request that the AIM program continue. As a once aimless kid, this opportunity needs to stand in order to support students like me. Students who need answers, guidance, and experience for the tales of later life. I once again thank everyone for this opportunity and expect it to extend to the next generation of students. AIM and Disney was a gift to me, and I hope it keeps on giving.
Tell you, these are the students you all are producing. So impressive, right? So I also want you to hear from one other student, Heen Trin.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, I want to express my gratitude to everyone here today, the people who have helped me during my time at AIM, and the Disneyland Resort. As an immigrant who came to the United States in 2007, I could have never imagined myself in a position to work with a globally recognized company such as Disneyland. For that, I will be eternally grateful towards the AIM organization for helping kids like me get a little bit closer to our dream. Well, that's for the people who had their eyes set on a dream, of course. Me, being somebody who's been torn between family influences and my personal interests, this is an opportunity for me to see the big wide world and see what my personal interests actually lie. Now, allow me to give you further insights on what we had accomplished at the Disneyland Resort. Our primary task was to organize and create a hypothetical event that would take place on the park, being distributed into different departments that would all come together to formulate a developed plan. It meant that we got to experience just a bit of what people in the real world get to do in their day-to-day life. With an interest in the business field, I came into the program assigned to the Department of Revenue Management and Analytics, which I will now refer to as RMNA just for time's sake. From this department, I met a wonderful mentor, Ms. Julia Campos, who guided me through all my anxiety and stress, giving me all the information I could have desired into her career as somebody who was conflicted just by family influence, like how I am, and her current experiences in day-to-day life. Her teachings allowed me to effectively and efficiently manage my department, from learning how to attend meetings, expressing myself, or to leading the groups to get our tasks done. I wasn't necessarily aligned to be a group leader, but I learned that information was necessary to complete certain tasks and that I could do it without getting any animosity throughout the cohort. This experience showed me that people interested in business require immense charisma and a work ethic. While I do possess some type of work ethic, I don't think communicating with so many different people and trying to get information from them into day-to-day life is something I have a strong interest in. I'm eternally grateful, however, because there's a potential major that I was going to pursue in college, and AIM saved me much time. This doesn't mean that this is a career path that I do not wish to follow. It's just for the meantime, I would like to explore different things. AIM has done wonders for me in terms of building skill, confidence, and motivation, working alongside fantastic people, and expanding my social network and horizons. Thank you once again for listening.
Jimmy, Heen, thank you so much for being part of our program. I mean, you are shining examples of the types of students that this district is producing, and we know you're going to have very bright futures, and please keep us in mind in the future. They presented, their final presentation was to about 50 different senior leaders at Disneyland. And they were on Zoom, but those students were so poised, they were so well prepared. They covered every detail of this hypothetical after dark style event that they put together, that our leaders, they were blown away. They thought, oh my goodness, we need to hire these students right now. They need to be our next event managers. So well done. I now want to introduce a very special guest we brought with us tonight who has a few additional words. So I'd like to welcome Ken Potrock, President of the Disneyland Resort, to the podium.
not quite sure where to start. I'm a little intimidated. There are so many smart and talented young people in this room tonight, and it's truly a pleasure to be part of it and to just feel that vibe. So thank you very much for having us. First of all, gentlemen, congratulations. Fantastic job. The team briefed me on all the different work that they were doing and how terrific they were. And I don't think Kim's fooling around. I think we really need to start recruiting very, very quickly. So I think it's really exciting to be part of that, and it's exciting to see these bright futures right here in front of us. I think back to my high school days, and I think about all the challenges that I was faced with as a young person, mostly not knowing what was out there and not knowing how to be prepared for all the inevitable opportunities that might, propose themselves to me. I wish that there was a program like this when I was in high school. It would have been unbelievably helpful. It would have been incredibly supportive of how I would have navigated my life. And again, I'm so thrilled that we're able to do this. I'm a little jealous. So I'm intimidated and I'm jealous. That's two so far. As you know, we've had a long-standing relationship with the Anaheim Union High School District, and one that we're very proud of and one that we're very committed to continuing. Let's put that one on the table. We're so impressed with this program and the results that we're seeing here tonight that because Jimmy asked for us to continue this program, I guess we have to respond. So we are responding to your request with a check, a big check, both size and substance, of $300,000 to help you continue to build this wonderful program. We're so honored to be part of this program. We're so honored to be able to contribute to the Anaheim community, and we're really grateful that as a partnership, our two organizations are really one community, and as a 70-year partner within the Anaheim area, we couldn't be prouder. Thank you very much.
We're done, yes.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Suitable for framing.
Yeah, right.
Great job. Awesome.
Well, I'll just start off with thanking Larry, Kim, and then of course Ken for coming down and supporting this program. I think it's great that we're continuing the partnership. I'm glad that our students actually asked you to invest in ours, so I'm glad that you're writing this big check. So again, on behalf of Anaheim Union High School District, all our AIM program participants, and also our residents, thank you for doing this for us, and we hope to continue this partnership in the future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, so we're going to,
Go back.
okay, are we okay with moving up 10.1 as well?
Oh, did you want to move up again?
Do we have to make a motion?
No?
No.
Go. It's okay.
All right, so I'll go ahead and introduce 10.1, and who is doing the introduction? Is it going to be you, Jaron?
I think there's a, is there a read?
Chair. So staff to present is Chuck Hernandez. Do you want to come up and present the? I could go ahead and read it. I'll give you the background information. So Board Policy 5201, naming of.
Say what this is, though. The name of the facility?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say, yeah. Naming of the facilities to honor individuals in the district as per the Board of Trustees' request. So an ad hoc committee was formed to review the proposals and to make the policy recommendations to the superintendent for board consideration. So Chuck, let me go ahead and bring you in to make the presentation. And this is to name the facility Coach Tim McMinimum as a facility. Go ahead.
Actually, if it's okay with Board President, because Chuck is new to Catella, I actually worked at Catella and was a student there, so I can speak probably more to Coach Mack and
Works for
what he
me.
meant.
I would appreciate that, Dr. Freed.
I was gonna watch him sweat for a little bit and see how he handled
Well,
it, but I
that
don't
was
know.
the whole idea.
Half
to
of
get-
Catella, absolutely. Thank you, Dr. Freed.
I'm happy to.
The whole idea was to sweat Chuck a little bit, so.
It worked. It worked.
Got it.
I'm good.
So the request came in recently to name the varsity baseball field after Tim, Coach Mack McMinimum. And just so you know, when I first got into education as a teacher, I taught in the room right next to him, and he and I were both moderate teachers in the special education program. And just a tremendous, upstanding individual, a great teacher, a great coach, and I got to see the relationship he built, not only with our students, but with the baseball players and our staff. He actually was my freshman football coach at Catella. So just a tremendous gentleman. We brought a committee together to review the applications that Catella had submitted, along with the letters of recommendations we received, not only from the Catella community, but from the community across our district. And the ad hoc committee was overwhelmingly supportive of making this recommendation to you. You saw on an update the different accomplishments that he had over the years in terms of some of his baseball attributes. So it's definitely a recommendation that we're proud to support.
They have his.
Oh, they have it here. So for the rest of the audience, I can read, let's see. Under his leadership, the Catella High School baseball team won 5 league championships, qualified for the CIF playoffs for 11 seasons, and reached the quarterfinals of CIF 3 times. As a coach, he was named Orange County Coach of the Year in 1996 and was selected as the Empire League Coach of the Year 5 times and was selected to coach the Orange County All-Star Game. I know that he's also had a couple of players who've made it to the professional level. Jared Wright, I think Chris Reed made it to the minors. I don't know that he ever made it to the majors. And, of course, Brandon Barnes played with him recently, most recently probably, and then he played for the Rockies, I think, at some point. I know he's moved around, so. Again, just a tribute to Coach Mack and the great work that he did. So I know he has a number of representatives tonight here from Catella High School and our family, and I'm just honored to have you take this under consideration.
All right, it's an action item, so I'll entertain a motion.
Move to approve. Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously, and
All right.
congratulations. I believe we have some of the family members present here today. Is that accurate, or I don't see any?
Okay.
Okay,
So his brother.
all right. Perfect. Do any one of you want to step up and say a few words on behalf? Again, I'm making you guys sweat. All right, well, no, that's okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate you coming here in support of the naming. Thank you. All right.
You can sit down, Chuck.
Yeah, Chuck, you can sit. All right, so we go back to the agenda. Let's start off with 7, which is reports. And we're going to start off with the student representative report. And Omkar,
Omkar, that's your chance here.
it's your first, no, it's your second one.
Second.
Yes, it's your second one.
Second, right.
Good evening, everyone. I think the board all got the student report as well.
Oh, wow.
Morales, so much.
You are fancy.
yours? All right.
So each school's ambassador wrote up their own report, and we compiled them.
Okay.
So this is just their work
Awesome.
all put together.
This is super. Wow.
Thank you. So I'll start off with Anaheim. So Anaheim, let's go through some of their accomplishments over this past few over this past month. So Anaheim High School celebrated their Hispanic Heritage Week, where teachers played Spanish music and ASB held activities like Loteria on the PEP stage. And one of the students said that they hope this becomes a tradition next year because they're mostly Hispanic there, and it's important, you know? So that was their quote from Andrea Monroy, who is the Anaheim ASB secretary. So moving on to Cambridge. So Cambridge Virtual Academy had students volunteers at the Anaheim Mayoral Campaign, where students got to have a first-hand experience in civic engagement and local government. So they're really grateful for that. Cypress High School recently had a choir show, and they threw a choir show from September 29th to 30th, and the show was titled On Broadway, and they had a range of songs from Hamilton to Everybody Rejoice. So they invite you to the next one, whenever they have one. Gilbert High School recently held a blood drive for the City of Hope, and Superintendent Mr. Matsuda was spotted there, so they want to give a huge thank you to you, Mr. Matsuda. There's even a picture on the report. Moving on to Catella High School. Catella High School had a really unique opportunity where students took a bus to Temescal Park in Santa Monica and spoke to Dr. Jane Goodall on her world-famous research. So, very grateful there. Kennedy's FNL Club, or Friday Night Live, held an after-school event where students collaborated with the National Alliance on Mental Health to design posters for Suicide Prevention Month. Loera's Theater put on a show from September 28th to 30th called Putman County Spelling Bee. They would also love to see you at their next show in late November, which is The Christmas Carol. So, they'd love to see you there. Magnolia hosted a football game with a school from Hawaii. So Radford High School actually had students fly out, and they were welcomed by Magnolia's ASB with a dinner hosted in their honor. So they danced with their traditional dances, and we hosted dinner for them. So yeah, and then we had that football game. Oxford Academy had their band invited to the Angel Stadium on September 13th to play the ceremonial national anthem before the game. Savannah's Red Cross Club volunteered at an animal shelter called Hemopet, where they got to meet rescued greyhound dogs. They took care of them and are planning to go back as soon as they can. Finally, Western had the Orange County Register come to one of their football games to evaluate the famed student section, the P.O. Pit. Also, football players gathered at Rock and Brews in Irvine to get interviewed for Channel LA 36 News. So, yay AUHSD.
All right.
Well, I got to tell you, Omkar, you took your, every year we ask our student ambassadors to take that bar higher, and you put another bar high for everybody else. So, great work.
Great.
Thank you.
Really, really good. Excellent idea. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Omkar. All right, next we usually entertain our student speakers if there are any in the audience. And I was submitted one request to speak from a Sycamore Junior High student, and that's Kayla Martinez. So she's going to be speaking about her great principal.
Good evening, school board members. My name is Kayla Martinez. I stand in front of you to talk to you about my amazing principal. As you know, this week we are celebrating our school administrators. I just want you to know that Miss Nancy Cortez is a person who I look up to. She's a person who I can talk to whenever I need. She's a person who went to my school and understands our students. For that, I am thankful. Her leadership is what brings us together. Thank you, Miss Nancy Cortez, and to all of our principals at our school. Mr. Alvarez and Miss Sonia Cortez, thank you for listening.
All right, thank you, Kayla. All right, thank you. Now we will go to 7.3, reports of associations, and I will go ahead and call on, I think we have Grant, right? Yeah, Grant, come on up. Grant with ASTA, our teachers union.
I get the little gadget tonight. Good evening, Board of Trustees, District Cabinet, and guests. I'm here tonight representing our teachers, speech and language pathologists, and nurses as ASTA president. In addition, I'm also here tonight representing CSEA on behalf of President Heather Huttner and representing AFSCME on behalf of President Adrian Prieto. First of all, I want to acknowledge the partnership and shared leadership model that has grown in our district. We have navigated a path together through the most difficult years for schools and public education in decades. The relationships that we are building will serve us moving forward. As we look for continued progress, the memberships of our bargaining units are focused on current contract negotiations. ASTA has put forth its current proposal after a few exchanges. We have arrived at a fair and equitable offer that is both affordable to the district and recognizes our educators and support staff for what they do on a daily basis. AUHSD rightly asks a lot of its educators and support staff. No matter the position any of our district employees holds, we strive to know student needs and those of their parents and our community. As board members, you are acutely aware of all the district has to offer and what makes everyone so proud to be part of what goes on here. Just last week, a team made up of every employee group put together the best college and career fair around for students and their families in AUHSD. Teachers rewrote lesson plans for an entire week to accommodate shorter class periods so they could deliver college and career readiness lessons for an hour each day. There are dozens of events and programs similar to this that bring the same dedication and service to our students. We have become a model district that offers others support and that is frequently highlighted by the county board and state offices of education because of our people. The continued success of our students at universities is because of our people. The incredible achievements of our students through the AIM program mentioned earlier tonight is because of our people. Our people make the district what it is. The salary and benefits of our staff should meet their phenomenal contributions to our district, students, and community. Our proposal is affordable, shows that we are a priority, and recognizes our value to AUHSD. We look forward to signing a contract in the near future. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Grant, Adrian Prieto, and Heather, all together. All right, okay. All right, and then I'm going to invite Natalie Saldivar, our APGA co-president.
Good evening, Board of Trustees, Superintendent Matsuda, Executive Cabinet, AUHSD students and family, guests, and those joining us online. My name is Natalie Saldivar, and I'm the APGA co-president, along with Corey Kretz. School counselors would like to take this time to say Happy School Administrator Week to all our wonderful administrators. We are grateful and thankful for your leadership. A special shout out and gratitude to Amy Kwan and Amy Bean for all their hard work, support, and advocacy for our profession. School counselors were happy to participate in the College and Career Fair Week that took place district-wide on October 3rd to the 7th. Counselors were in classrooms collaborating with staff and creating meaningful activities with students. The energy leading up to AUHSD College and Career Fair was simply electric. School counselors across the district were overjoyed to see such an amazing turnout at our AUHSD College and Career Fair. Our counselors were engaging with all of our stakeholders and supporting our school tables. It was an exciting day, and we are grateful to all those that contributed to the success of the AUHSD College and Career Fair event. We would like to acknowledge and thank Amy, Karina, and Amanda for making the All-Counselor Professional Learning Day possible this past Monday. Their commitment to our professional development is one that our AUHSD counselors value greatly. Our counselors had the opportunity to learn how to integrate the CPSS framework, put into practice our AUHSD core values and 5 Cs. We were given the opportunity to choose from a list of great workshops and value the time to collaborate with our grade level and feeder pattern schools. We are thankful for the time we were given to grow and the insight we were able to bring back to our students' insights. And now to continue with some bright spots with some of our schools. Catella High School had the highest number of students attending the College and Career Fair. This is not just the work of the school counselors, but also our wonderful teachers. The counseling team has a strong partnership with their teachers and admin, and through their teamwork, they support their students. South Junior High, for this College and Career Fair Week, the South Counseling team played pledge trivia with students, creating an opportunity for students at lunch to reflect on their strengths, their superpowers, and the next day on what future career they can use those superpowers on. They created a Super You wall that reflected all their strengths and goals. Another day was used to take pictures of them during a Super U photo booth. Walker Junior High had an amazing college and career fair week with many activities for their students to participate in. They made sure to recognize every student on their journey to become college and career ready with a personalized t-shirt. They also had great responses for their 2 scavenger hunts passport activities, one on campus learning about staff and one at the college career fair. Ball Junior High highlight for National Bullying Prevention Month. Ball Junior High prepared curriculum and presented information around the topics of the dangers of cyberbullying, self-management, responsible decision-making, conflict resolution. They discussed coping skills and healthy relationships. All students were given resources and informed about how to report anonymously via the Stop It app. Lexington Junior High recently completed their minute meetings with students. When asked on a scale of 1 through 5, 1 being terrible and 5 being amazing, how do you feel about school so far this year? 79.5% of their student body reported their answers as of 4 or 5. Counselors were also able to follow up and provide support for the 28 who responded with either a 1 or 2. They are making connections every day to know their students' names and needs. Thank you and have a great evening.
Thank you, Natalie. And I'm going to be inviting Amanda Bean for Alta.
Good evening, President Jabbar, Board of Trustees, Superintendent Matsuda, Executive Cabinet, students, parents, school community, and those joining us in person and online. So we have quickly ended the first semester and are in full swing of things at all school sites. We are delighted to report the incredible success of the College and Career Fair and all of the sites' implementation of a week-long focus on college, career, and self-exploration. Sites are now continuing their support for the college application process, FAFSA completion, as well as raising awareness of the resources and supports for student health and well-being. Additionally, we are continuing Coffee with the Principals and are beginning to conduct parent learning walks at the sites. We are proud of all of the clubs and organizations for all of their efforts in our back-to-school events, for all of the community and culture building events held during their first quarter. We particularly want to highlight the RSVP summits, which are being held at all of the high school sites to gather student feedback and input. In keeping with the topic of student feedback, this past Monday, during the non-student day, all sites conducted professional development at their sites and focused on bolstering student voice. Schools have done a tremendous work towards our student capstone and junior high showcases, and we are excited to see what students create through their learning experiences and this process. And lastly, since this is School Administrators Week, we want to give all of our administrators a shout out for their hard work, their focus on staff, students, and student learning, and their dedication to their sites and school communities. We are grateful for all that they do, but most importantly, that they are amazing people and servant leaders. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Amanda. Just in time, we're going to invite you, Jesse Alvarez, our PTA president.
Hi, good evening. Board President Jabbar, the rest of the members of the board, Superintendent Matsuda and Cabinet. My name is Jesse Alvarez. I'm this year's Council PTA president. Some of you may have seen me in other capacities, but I first got my start volunteering in school in PTA. I've been involved on the PTA board since my son was in first grade, so for 9 years. I've been on the school unit boards at both the elementary and now at Anaheim High School. I also have served on both the elementary council board. This is my 3rd year on the secondary council board, and I also serve on the 4th district board as well. So I have a lot of PTA in my life. But I'm really thankful to be back in person presenting to you guys. So that's just a little bit of my PTA history. So for what we're doing, if you're not aware, even during the pandemic, we were still working hard, and we actually started a PTA at Cambridge Virtual Academy. So we now have 18 PTAs throughout the district. We still have 2 schools that we're working on to kind of bring them into PTA if that's possible. But right now we have the 18 schools that we're really proud of. Across the PTAs, our membership is about 3,300 plus members across all of our, that's parents, community members, students. We have a lot of student members. And we've been even doing like alumni push. So we're really proud. We're thankful to Brian O'Neill, who joined all of our PTAs at our principal president breakfast. I know Al-Jabbar is a member at some of our, and I'm sure more of our board members are members as well. So thank you for your support to PTA. Let's see. We've been working on just getting our PTA members back on sites, volunteering in our school campuses, running programs. You'll see our PTAs helping with lunch supervision, after school sales. We saw a lot of them at back to school nights. So we're really out there trying to get back involved, visible at our units. Some things that we have already done. On September 23rd, I just want to give a little quick shout out. We had the Anaheim Collaborative Parent Summit at Fullerton College, and I attended one of the parent-student panels, and two of our parent leaders were like, how did you first get involved? And they both were like, PTA. So I was like, you know, PTA has always helped support bridge that student success, bringing the parents in, getting them involved in campus. So a lot of our parents that have, like myself and many other leaders that you know across the district, that are involved in many other committees now because of our first start in PTA. That's how we learned about all of the other committees and district work across all of our campuses. On September 27th, like I said, we had the principal president breakfast. Mr. Jabbar and Brian O'Neill both attended that, so thank you. And Matsuda, all of our cabinet were there as well. So I was really glad. This is my third year on council, but that was the first time I've been able to attend that event because we haven't been able to do it. So it was really great to get all of our principals and our presidents in the same room. And I know it's hard to pull our admin away from their sites, so we're really grateful that they were able to join us, that we provide breakfast for them, and just kind of get to sit with them and learn how we can work together as a team at our sites. Right now, one of the programs we're running at our schools is the Reflections Art Program. If you know me from the elementary, I'm really passionate about the Reflections Art Program, so we're really hoping to increase that in the coming years. We have such strong VAPA programs across our district, but we haven't always gotten that same participation in the Reflections program, so we're really hoping to kind of broaden that and reach more students participating in that program. But we will be having our Reflections Gallery on November 17th, so you'll be looking for communication on that because you guys are all welcome to attend and just see all the artwork and different visual and performing arts from across our district. Another upcoming event we have in December 7th, it will be our holiday potluck and silent auction. So again, another event that I have never been able to attend until now. So I'm looking forward to enjoying that with you guys. So you guys will also be invited to that as well. So this is me, Jessie Alvarez, PTA. So I hope to come and present more throughout the year, and hope to see many more members throughout from our cabinet and our boards at our units. Membership is an ongoing campaign, so you can join at any time. So we value your support of all of our parent volunteers out across our district, and you can always reach out if you guys have anything that you want to communicate with all of our parent leaders at our sites. Thank you.
Thank you, Jessie. All right. We're now going to our, we did the Disney presentation, public comments. We're going to go to public comments. I'm going to go ahead and read a disclaimer here. Opportunities for public comments occur at the beginning of each agenda item and at this time for items not on the agenda. Persons wishing to address the Board of Trustees should complete a speaker request form available on the information table on the back of the room and submit it to the executive assistant prior to the meeting. Each speaker is limited to a maximum of 5 minutes. Each topic or item is limited to a total of 20 minutes. Board members cannot immediately respond to public comments as stated on the speaker request form. We have one speaker today, and that's Linda Martinez.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. First of all, I want to start off by thanking each one of you for all the things that you do for our children, whether you are, at the school district running the show, or if you are one of our board members representing each area of our 5 cities. My name is Linda Martinez, and formerly known as Linda Lobatos. For some reason, Lobatos never goes away. So I'm standing here before you, and one of the things I wanted to bring up is that there are some things that we need to fix within the district. I have always been a very passionate parent. I've always come before you guys. I recently have established a report with Mr. Jabbar, and I text him and I tell him, hey man, we need this done, we need that done. And for that, I thank you, Al, for responding. But I think that there needs to be collaboration from the district itself. We still see a lot of situations happening at Anaheim High School. I've talked to Mr. Mike Matsuda about this. Some of our children are using marijuana, and they happen to go get high where I live, like by the Starbucks. I live right behind Anaheim High School. So that's very concerning. Most of the times I've been told to call the Anaheim PD, but that's not my heart. We need to find alternatives, And my heart goes for the at-promise kids, because you know what? Those are the ones that need us the most. The ones that are going to college, they're already, on that journey. We already know they have those expectations. So for that, I need for you guys to start something to focus on those children, to open more ILC programs, within the district. I know that we have some, but we haven't done much since, 10 years from now. We really need those so that children can identify themselves at each school site and they don't lose their identity, because it is, when we're dealing with mental health, when you pull a child, let's say I'm a former colonist, and if somebody were to tell me you're not a colonist anymore and you're something else, it's like I lose my identity. I take pride every time that I walk by Anaheim High School or I drive by my old high school, because that's my home. That was my home, away from home. So for that, I would like for that. And then another thing is the dates that our superintendent parent advisory committee, we have 4 dates. That's not enough. Mr. Mike Matsuda, we really need to speak to you on issues like this. We really need, it's a collaboration team effort here. Parents, I noticed that they had so many questions, and there wasn't much time in those advisory meetings, And so, with 4 meetings, we have one on September the 22nd, December 6th, February 7th, May 18th. That's not enough, I know that you guys are working for our community. You're working for the best interest of our children. And please keep that in mind. Parents are your partners in education, and we need to have that, communication going back and forth. And with that being said, I want to give kudos to my kid, because I didn't think that she would speak. But I told her, this is where you speak, you get to meet all of these great people that, make things happen in your school district. And for that, I'm so blessed that my kids are here today, and I'm so glad that, you guys are doing amazing things for our children. I want to give kudos to every administrator that has touched the lives of my children. As you know, I have 3 adult children, and I have 2 that are coming up to Anaheim Union, and Kayla, who's right now at Sycamore. So I want to give a shout out to Anna Corral, John Bricolet, Mr. Santiago, Manuel Colon, Nancy Cortez, Sonia Cortez, Enrique Romero, Juan Alvarez, Dr. Monica Valencia, which is at the other district, Mr. Echeverria at the other district, and Ms. Shoemate. Thank you so much. And then let's not forget one thing. We need counselors. I know my counselor for my child, she's going to lose it this year. Please think about alternatives. We really need our guidance counselors. I know that they're only supposed to have 250 students, and our counselors at Sycamore have more than 400. So I know about those numbers. Please, let's work together. Let's get things done. Thank you so much for your time.
All right, thank you, Ms. Martinez. And now we'll go to our educational services agenda items, 10.2, school-sponsored student organizations.
So moved.
And Omkar, you get to vote on this. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Including home car, all right. Well, we have that passed, and now we go to resolutions. 10.3, resolution number 2022/23-B-04, request for proposals for E-rate year 26 data communications equipment, cybersecurity software, and other related electronic equipment, apparatus, and services. It's a roll call vote.
So moved.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Let's start with Ms. Piercy.
Aye.
Ms. Randall Trejo.
Aye.
Ms. Smith.
Aye.
Mr. O'Neill.
Aye.
And I vote aye. Motion passes unanimously. Resolution number 10.4, resolution number 2022/23-E-07, Great American Smokeout / Escape the Vape Day 2022. It's a roll call vote.
So moved.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Any comments? Seeing none. Ms. Piercy.
Aye.
Ms. Randall Trejo.
Aye.
Ms. Smith.
Aye.
Mr. O'Neill.
Aye.
And I vote aye. Motion passes unanimously. Now we go to Business Services, 10.5, Agreement, Frontline Technologies Group LLC. It's an action item. We have a motion
Second.
and a second. Any questions? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Educational Services, 10.6, Revised Board Policy 7903.11, Student Trips and Off-Campus Activities, Repeal Board Policy 7903.13, Field Trips and Excursions, parentheses, non-school sponsored educational tours.
So moved.
Second?
This is the second reading. We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. 10.7, Memorandum of Understanding, YWCA OC's Youth Employment Services, action item.
So moved.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. 10.8, Educational Consulting Agreement, Tilly's Life Center, Savannah High School.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions or
No,
comments?
but I have a comment because I made this comment. That I would really like to get a report on this at the end of December to see if this is really a viable, program, since this is a pilot that we are, doing at Savannah High School. It's interesting, and I would like to kind of know how it works out
Okay,
without waiting until next year to find out or anything like that. Okay.
perfect. Any other comments? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. I'll go to 10.9, Educational Consulting Agreement, Heatherbrook Coaching LLC, Servite High School, action item.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. 10.10, Memorandum of Understanding, California Curriculum Collaborative,
So
action
moved.
item. We have a motion
Second?
and a second. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. 10.11, Contract West Ed Open Sci Ed High School Field Test, action item.
So moved.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Human Resources, 10.12, Revised Board Policy H70H, Sexual Harassment, Students, first reading, information item. Any comments? Seeing none, go to 10.13, Revised Board Policy 6106-R, Sexual Harassment Employees and Applicants, first reading, information item. Any comments? Seeing none, go to 10.14, Revised Board Policy 6201-R, Equal Opportunity Employment, second reading, information and action item.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments?
Now, I have a comment that we have several, board policies that we are going over, and I want the community to know that we are updating our policies, a few each time, because we are trying to be right up there with the times, and a lot of these we, have had for a few years, and changes need to be made. So we're trying to kind of like bring them up to what the other districts are doing in the time. So that's why we have so many of them if
All right.
anybody was curious.
Thank you, Ms. Piercy, for that. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. We go to consent calendars. Item to be pulled.
11.9 FF and 11.10. Move the balance.
I'm pulling 11.17.
I'll
All right.
second that.
I have a motion to move the rest in a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. We'll pull 10.9 FF in, 11.9 FF in 11.10.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Aye.
Okay, it's 401. And we'll go to 11.17.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. I just want to highlight the program, which is a MOU with University of Irvine for UCI Law School. Glad that this program is now ongoing for 6 years. I'm glad that we have 50 students now participating, and also other schools, obviously, not only Anaheim High School, but all the other high schools are participating as well. It's a great program. Glad to have spearheaded to bring this program in 6 years and running. So I'm hoping that it will run for all along. All right, thank you.
6 more.
And 6 more or more?
Or more.
Or more. All right. I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And now we go to Superintendent and Staff Report. Wow. No report?
No report.
No report? No report? You hesitated, Brad.
No report.
No report? Robert, no report. All right, we'll start with Ms. Piercy.
Okay, I didn't do that much this period between board meetings. I took a couple of vacations and I missed some things that I didn't want to miss, unfortunately. But I did make the Mac Farm dinner, and that was phenomenal. Magnolia did a dinner utilizing the vegetables grown there, plus some chicken. Of course, they weren't the chickens that Magnolia has now. But that was a surprise when I went for the dinner. They had chickens and a rooster. And, chickens? Okay. But no, it was really something. And what was really good is to see all the students that were there volunteering their time to work in the garden and to do the work. It was great. I mean, I'm watching these kids prepare the foods. They're chopping the vegetables. They're working with the meat and getting the chickens and skewered, and then they served everything. And it was just really, really something, great to see. And I think the farm is already a success. And it's just going to get better and better, And so I really enjoyed that. And they're planning on having, I think, 5 more dinners. So they want to let a lot more people see this and realize how successful we are doing. I did also go to, I tried to make the Magnolia back to school. I was home from vacation. But being Grace that afternoon, I tripped on the hose and sprained my ankle, and I just could not imagine walking around at back to school, so I didn't make it, but I felt kind of bad about that. And that's about all that I did. I did go to a meeting. I think I went to the insurance meeting. Why did we cancel both October and November?
Because the committee already met and made the decision already, was recommended the decisions already.
Okay.
The prior one. So everybody got together. They were able to do that the last meeting.
Okay.
You guys were efficient.
They were very efficient, yes.
All right. But it's just like, wow, 2 months. Okay. And then I think I had a discipline meeting. I'm not sure I made that one either, but I did take 2 vacations, and so it was kind of in between times. So
I thought you were always on vacation.
I'm not always.
I'm
Are you
sorry.
kidding me? I work all the time.
Okay.
I have a job. Hey, I get up every morning at the same time and walk take care of my granddaughter. I feed her breakfast, comb her hair, and walk her to school. That's my morning. What a fantastic way to start the day. Believe me, I am blessed. I love it.
All right.
And
Thank you, Ms. Piercy.
our 15-year-old, our athlete here, Dad was one of my students. He let me know. Hey, Mrs. Piercy, you were my art teacher. I love it. And it's always so neat. That's just, having been a teacher in the community, I love it when they let me know they had been in my class. And I am just also very flattered that they still recognize me, because that was a long time ago.
And hey, you've earned your vacation, so
Yeah,
hey.
right. I'm retired, sorta.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Piercy. Ms. Randall-Teo.
Okay, I had the wonderful opportunity to attend Dr. Doe's grand opening for his dental business, and Dr. Doe is a wonderful contributor to our students in the VSA clubs, and so we wanted to go and represent the district and pay him hearty congratulations on his business, and he promised to continue donating. But our students, our gift to him that evening was to provide our students entertainment. And so our VSA Traditional Dance Club danced, and our drummers played, and our lion dancers, students performed. And they had to ad-lib a little bit because the MC, I forget his name, but he's very well known in the community, and he made the lion dancers like do an extra, vamp a little bit while he was talking, and our drummers do drum roll, and he invited the lion dancers to kind of invite the crowd to go in and follow behind them. So the kids were kind of put to task. It's all show business. They have to be on and ready to go, but they did a great job. And so it was an honor for me to be there to congratulate him on his beautiful dental lab. It's huge. All the lion dancers fit in there, and the crowd followed behind them. So yeah, it's a really huge business. But he promises to continue to help our students out. Attended our ROP meeting last night, and of course ROP, our fantastic partners, were very, very impressed with the crowds at our college and career fair, and I was really impressed seeing all of their representation. And they said that everyone who was there, teachers and students, just had a really, really great time. And congratulations to the team. I mean, have we got our final numbers yet, Carlos?
Building it, but it's going to be over 10,000. Yeah.
Over 10,000.
If you just add one parent with those students, you already have over 8,000, plus the non-AUHSD community members that attended as well, students and families. I mean, we're well over 10,000.
Wow. Fantastic. It was just absolutely amazing. And everything that I have always envisioned, it to be, it was bustling. I used to get on kind of our administrators because it was kind of like a fun meeting place for them at times. And then, and it kind of became like that for them. But I saw all of our administrators working really hard, and I loved as we walked in, seeing all of our schools. That was just perfect. And the collaboration and the engagement with our parents and our students. I love that they checked in, and so it gave them really an opportunity to go up and talk to the counselors that were there. And then behind that were oh my gosh, a bajillion colleges that showed up. It was just an amazing, amazing event. And then behind that was the ROP and military, and I mean, just bustling. I didn't get to see it all. It was huge. I didn't get to see it all when there were so many people engaging. And gosh, congratulations, you hit it out of the park. And I couldn't have been pleased. It was just an amazing thing. And really, I think our ROP partners were just so proud to be a part of it. So they were really congratulating us and the team. So I'm bringing you their thanks and their congratulations for a wonderful event. I had the opportunity to attend the LVN graduation, the ROP graduation that they have for their adult LVN programs. And this one was a special one because during COVID, the students were not able to do their hours that they have to complete to get that certificate, and so it took them like 18 months to finish the courses, and so it was really special. And we hosted it at Kennedy High School, and ROP was very grateful. They loved the facility, and our colleagues said that our facility was really beautiful, so it was really nice to kind of shine in that way too. And then, of course, I am so overjoyed that we got to celebrate our AUHSD summer grads. And it was just a perfect event to culminate their success. Joe, congratulations. It was really tough. He was telling us it's hard to kind of gather folks after they've left us and get them back, but they put on a wonderful event. Several students came and their families to celebrate, an event that is so special for our graduates, and they didn't get to miss out. And the student speaker reminded us just how precious this event was for him, and just reminding us that it's not always the students that we think are the ones that are in need of this special event. There are several reasons why our students need this event, and I really hope we continue this event. I just wanted to show off that I went through and was able to go to the Gilbert booth, ROP, and they have started an entrepreneurship pathway. And there is a student there, and I'll tell about the other student and his remarkable highlights. But this group were several young ladies, and they had started several businesses. I noticed a lot of them were selling like the long eyelashes. And I kidded with them that if I bought those, then they'd have to give me a tutorial, to how to put them on, because I haven't done that in a long while. But they were so happy, and they were so enthusiastic. I think this was they had the most fun out of everybody that night, but I was able to get a picture with them. And they're going to come to our next ROP meeting and give a presentation of what they're, and I'll hold my report for what they're going to announce and what they're going to do with the proceeds that they.
What are you going to do with the free sample, Al? I want to see those eyelashes.
Yeah, he has another highlight.
Can't you see? I'm already wearing it.
He has another highlight. So our students are just remarkable. They really are. I think I mentioned already, attended my GASELPA meeting, and really want to give we say Happy Administrator Week or month or whatever we say, but I really mean it from within the depths of my soul. We really appreciate all of our administrators in this room, in this building, on our campuses. We couldn't have gotten through the last couple of years with your dedication, your leadership, your extra hours away from your families, and we know when you do that, I mean, that's precious time taken away from the moments that you hold dear. So we know your time is very valuable, And so when you attend the PTA meetings, DLAC meetings, LCAT meetings, parent advisory meetings, you know that's in the evening and it's extra. And we really appreciate, we know how dedicated you are, and we thank you for that dedication. We say we're family, and you really demonstrate that each and every day. So happy Administrators Week. Thank you.
Well, I don't have a lot to report. I just would like to thank Dr. Nian for the work you do with the Insurance Committee. It's a task that the general people in our community wouldn't even be able to understand what it takes to work through that and keep it stable, which is huge. And I attended the Discipline Committee, and I always learn a lot about student behavior, and appreciate that very much. And this whole situation that occurred with Ian down in Florida, and I think of so many times we tend to think inwardly of what we're dealing with in our community, but when you think at large of what people in Florida have had to live through, having lost their homes and everything that they owned. And then we go over to Ukraine. And it gives me a point of reference how fortunate we all are to live the way we do, trying to strive to keep things as good as we can and provide a good education and a safe community. And Mrs. Martinez, I really appreciated your daughter speaking up. I didn't know your name was Martinez now. I was born and raised in Martinez, California, so it has a special feeling for me. And it was just a delight to hear her. She's beautiful. And I just wanted to say that the national recognition of Indigenous Day was so, I thought, well thought out, that over the years of growing up in California and traveling and seeing how many of these people have been so poorly treated, and just to recognize them and to give them some sort of platform to know, for us to know what they have come through over many generations. And I just want to say I'm grateful for the people that I work with. Everybody, the general public has not a concept of the jobs, multiple jobs that different individuals sitting up here and working in our schools achieve. So I just want to say thank you. We're very fortunate.
Thank you, Ms. Smith. Mr. O'Neill.
Sure. I attended the Magnolia Back to School night, and certainly the stage was very well used, the one that was designed and put out in the quad area. Which there was one thing I talked to the principal about, and I challenged him really. I said, you need to think about next year of how you're going to get all those people that are in the back around the food area, get them over to where they can see the performances by the students. Like it was mentioned about line dancers. They were there that evening, did a great job. So Aaron, I bugged his ear, put a bug in his ear, and so he's thinking about how, I said, move the tables over, closer to the theater, something, wrap it around. So he's thinking. I'm sure it'll be a little different next year, but they did a great job. And a good turnout, too. The Anaheim Collaborative at Fullerton College, I attended the opening of that. That was I had not attended before. I thought there would be more people there, but I know that it's a good beginning, and I know that next year, from future years, that there'll probably be more people there as the word gets out about really how important it is, and it's a very positive, I think, event for the parents. Summer school graduation, as was mentioned, I thought that was a great event for the kids that didn't graduate in June, or excuse me, in May, but did finish up their credits, and they earned the right to graduate. So maybe next year, we're able to get the word out. I don't know when we got the word out to them about the actual having a ceremony specifically for them, but maybe we can get it out earlier so that as they're moving through the process of getting their credits, and the parents know that there will be something for them at the end of their, I guess, certification process. I attended the principal breakfast put on by the PTA, Anaheim Secondary Council, as Jesse said, always a very nice event. And after that, I attended the principals meeting for a while, and it's always a pleasure to be able to sit there and listen. And you sort of, it's amazing to see and hear what is being presented to the principals and what is expected of our administrators. And it's always an education. I'm glad they're the administrators and not me. The College and Career Fair, as Ms. Randall-Trejo said, was just phenomenal. I especially liked when you walked in the door, she said, and you were faced with all the schools there, and you could feel, not just see, but you could feel the enthusiasm as you walked through. And it wasn't from the students who were there, but it was from the staff, the principals, all the presenters that were there behind the tables. So it was really an amazing experience, and it was, I was parking in parking lot 4, and I almost didn't get a parking spot. And then I heard that there were two of the parking spots, or parking lots available, but I'm sure they were probably just as full as that one. So we probably need a 4th parking lot for next year. I attended the La Palma State of the City event Tuesday night, and happy to say that financially they are in excellent shape. When I was on council, we had like a 28% reserve. They have 123% reserve. Wow. That's probably the best in Orange County, and they're very proud of it that they can. I don't know, what was Cypress, do you know? I know, but we thought it was pretty good when we were about 28% when I was there.
Recall. No.
In fact, people were saying, "Why are you holding your money?" You're right. I had the pleasure of jury duty, and I got there, and I had someone had told me, said, you know, when you get older, you don't have to go. So I went there, and I was listening. Somebody asked, "Is there an age limit?" They said, "Nope. You could be 100 years old, and you're still going to be called jury duty." I said, "Oh, well, I'm not there yet." But it was interesting. I came that close to being impaneled. I was on the alternate, and they had to pick 2 out of the 6. And after the judge and the 2 attorneys collaborated, they came back, and I was one of the ones that got dismissed. So I was only there for 2 days, but it's always it's not just a pleasure. I feel it's a responsibility, a duty to do that. And then I attended an Air Force officer's retirement. And I hadn't been to an officer before. I had been to an enlisted man. My cousin was a senior chief petty officer in the Navy, and I got to participate in that a few years ago. But my next door neighbor retired as a major in the Air Force, so it was a very nice event. And his, I guess it's his superior. I don't know if it was his CO. He started from when he was in high school, went up to present day without a single note. I mean, it was just like, how did he do it? He grew up with the guy, and he's only known him for 4 years. So I asked him after, I said, how did you do that? He says, a lot of memory work. But he did a fantastic job. And this guy, my neighbor, cybersecurity. And so I've talked to him over the years he's been there for 3 years, without really knowing exactly what he's doing. And of course, I still don't know exactly what he was doing. But what was told what he was doing, he was saving the world, literally, on a daily basis, monitoring a little tremble in the earth, and they would know what it was, where it came from, and what took place to cause that. I mean, it was amazing. Satellites, just you name it. And we felt really good that we were in good hands when we heard what was going on, and of course, the person that took over from him, I hope he's as good as he is. So he was very happy, full uniform, jumped in his pool. He came out, went in and changed, came out with another uniform, but he was very excited. Ms. Randall Trejo mentioned about administrators, and I have to put a tagline onto that. Fantastic what the administrators do in this district, and in all districts, really. But we know that ours are a cut above what we have seen and read about. So kudos to all of you, and thank you so much. And then I have something I want to ask about. It's not on the calendar yet, or should say on the agenda, but it is a calendar for next month, or next year. And I've already asked somebody in this room, and I came back with an answer, but I'm going to throw something out just to think about. In July, we have a July 13th and a July 20th, and I understand why the July 20th is there, is the leadership advance. But I am looking at coming back from vacation the night of July 12th. So, I mean, it's humanly possible to come to the meeting the next day, but it should be nice to have a few days in between if it could be the next Monday or Tuesday, or even if it was even that Friday. Anyhow, just think about it, something. If it can't be done, it can't be done. So I just want to throw that out because in December we'll be making some decisions. But so I'm giving a couple months for the district to think about. It would help me out a little bit. So I think that brings me to an end. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Mr. O'Neill. All right. So I'll start off with ROP. I know we had our ROP meeting yesterday, but those of you who didn't know and who served on the ROP board, Dr. Jones, he was a former superintendent, passed away, and they closed the board meeting in his memory, so we wanted to make sure that everybody who sat on the board, I think we had a picture with Kathy Smith and Mr. Jones.
Dr. Jones?
Yeah.
I served on that board for 14 years, and I don't remember a Dr. Jones.
That is Dr. Jones, yeah. And we actually have a picture with him and you, so I know it is him and you. So.
I'm sure he was good.
Yeah. Well, he was apparently a good, a character, right? So I'm hoping that everybody remembered and they all talked about him fondly. So this football game season, so I had attended a couple of football games for Anaheim High School, and of course our homecoming game was against Loera, so it was Savannah, so it was nice to actually go watch the game with their. I also attended the PTA principal meeting and then stopped by a little bit for the principal meeting, probably about 5 minutes, and then I had to leave. Graduation, our summer graduates, it was a great, and I know that we're going to continue it, but I echo what Mr. O'Neill said. I think we need to make sure that we communicate to the students earlier on so that they will make an effort to come there. Graduation speech itself was awesome to see because he was a cancer surviving student who actually made us all remember what life is all about. So that was awesome.
I add to your comment on the graduation, because I was thinking about this, let them know in May if they're going to be working on that. So my idea is maybe they might want to buy their graduation outfit along with the rest of them for when that, summer graduation, because I understand it was kind of a problem this year, so maybe.
Well, it's because they were already gone. So
Right, they were gone. So that's what I'm saying. So if they're aware of it, maybe at the beginning, they could then have their colors and whatever, so.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then, I had the pleasure of going with Carlos Hernandez and Mike Matsuda and the team to actually present about our community schools program, the Anaheim City Council meeting. I had people who were actually talking about it, so congratulations to us for actually presenting that to the entire city council, because I guess it was going obviously in the loop on cable and people were watching it, and I was having interactions regarding that throughout that week. So great presentation, and again, congratulations to our team. Anaheim Collaborative, the parent, I think there was more parents after we left because I saw a picture which was with all the parents taken, and it was a huge number.
It didn't seem quite
Yeah, in the theater, it was not, probably because it was in the morning, but towards the end, you probably had more parents come by, right?
Yeah, there was over 120 parents that
Oh, were there?
signed up, and they maybe didn't make it because
Yep.
of the timing for parents.
In the morning, yeah.
It could be. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we might want to take a look at that and make sure that we adjust those times, because obviously we were throwing it for our parents, so we wanted to make sure. But it was nice to see the picture afterwards to say like all those parents in there, so that was awesome.
Excuse me, the food was great.
I didn't get to eat it, so.
I'm sorry. It was terrible.
Gilbert High School, yeah, you know, I think I mentioned this probably last meeting. If I didn't, went for the open house, and I actually met this young gentleman who was part of the entrepreneur pathway, and this gentleman had already sold 100,000 worth of merchandise, creating his own sweatshirt. So that was a awesome story to actually relate to the rest of the community as well, because this is Gilbert High School, and we're giving opportunities for these students. The interesting part was, I think all of you remember, we met the other gentleman who made a presentation when they made the Gilbert High School pathway. There was a student who came and presented about his business about creating bookmarks. So this gentleman had actually worked on his bookmark project as a marketer, or was marketing on it. And then now it's his turn, so he created his own T-shirts, and he's now thinking about, I met him at the college and career fair, and now he's thinking about making a line of products like hats and different items. And he's already thinking about putting it on Amazon and, you know, selling it through. He sold most of his products in Mexico, and now he's learning that, you know, he's making business decisions of how to make more profit, so he wants to move the manufacturing to United States and do it over here, but he wants to create a different line of products. So that's the story that we really got to message to our parents and say, and the community as well, to talk about what we are doing in Anaheim Union High School District. I was super proud, and I know I even posted it on my social media, and a lot of folks commented on it as well. And again, I was proud to attend the vocational RN graduation at Kennedy. ROP board members were very happy, and they were jealous that we had such a nice facility, but it was a nice compliment.
Al, do you know where they actually have their classes?
You know, I think it's
LVNs.
LVNs.
Yeah, they have it at the new,
It's the
Trident.
Trident. There are like,
It's over at Trident.
Yeah,
There
yeah,
used
there-
to be another facility.
Yeah,
They closed that a
that's
long time ago.
closed
I
down.
know that closed down, that's why I was wondering where it
Yeah.
was.
yeah, so they have their new potables, right? Is it not, is it new potables, or is it old potables? I can, yeah. Oh, renovated it. So renovated potables, yes, yes. Yep. And then College and Career Day. Carlos and your team, congratulations. I think it was all, again, going to kind of, I'm going to loop that in with the administrators week. I think we should celebrate you guys every single day. This was awesome. I could attest to the fact that I sent text messages at 11 o'clock at night, so I didn't expect you to return back that text at that time, but, you know, I was just sending it out. I know I've made phone calls late at night. I know everybody talks about how great of administrators they have in their school district, but I could tell you that you guys are the best that we have, and we are proud to have you here at AUHSD, and our parents are proud to have you, because you take a lot of, you take the brunt of everything that comes at you. So thank you for your leadership. Appreciate it, from all the way from the district to the school site. So thank you, guys. We appreciate you. All right, that's
Can I-
my report.
Can I add something? You know,
No,
you pick,
I'm just kidding.
I'm first to go, and then I start remembering.
I
okay?
know.
The one thing I did do, because and I really was kind of bummed, because when I had to be out, and the two times I left, there were a lot of things going on I would have attended. But I did go to the tour of the OC Vibe, and you
Oh,
were
that's right.
there.
Yes, yeah.
And, half the, the dais was there. But that was very interesting, and I read in the next couple of days that the city council passed their
it, yeah.
plan. So that was a really neat, tour, and it was a visual tour they gave us. But how they are going to be redoing that entire area from the Honda Center and north, and where the old Phoenix Club was, all the way down to the Arctic, and that whole area, and what they're going to do,
Thank
it's
you,
going
Ms.
to be
Smith.
phenomenal. So I just wanted to mention that, because I thought that was really neat. It passed, because it's a great idea, and the city council in Anaheim evidently agreed, and so they have to go ahead and they'll start working. So I just wanted to mention that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'd like to add on to that.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing that up, too, because that's going to open up a expanded partnership with the Samueli family, and it's going to give our AIM program and all of our pathways huge opportunities out there. So we're really, really excited. Phase 1 opens in 2024.
In 2024, yeah, well, they have some ambitious plans there, really, in the next couple of years. But it'll be great, and it's going to be a great partnership with us, too. They've included us, and we're going to be able to utilize a lot. I mean, some of the stuff that's going to be going on there will be phenomenal.
And while we're at it, too, I'd like to just also, I wasn't able to attend this morning, but there were 6 principals, and Robert Saldivar was out with the Simon Family Foundation. As the board knows, that our students will be receiving the first Simon scholarships the spring of this year, valued at $12,000 each, or $16,000.
16,000.
Yeah. And we have about 32 students that will be named, is that right?
So that's what we need to clarify. It's actually, we were at 34, but from what I understand now, it could be more than that. There's a total of 200 students across the county that will be receiving these types of scholarships. And from our 6 schools that are part of this program, it could be 30, 40, 50. So we'll clarify that. As of last year, it was 34 amongst 6 schools, and $16,000 scholarship. And with that, there's all kinds of other resources that they had access to, leadership meetings, field trips to the East Coast that are going to start back up this year, and just a lot of other stuff. A laptop for each student that is a recipient of this, and they're identified their sophomore year and begin receiving services their junior year. And so again, just a lot of mentoring opportunities and just a lot of help.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal program.
And-
It
and
really
it's-
is. We are so lucky to have several of our schools be included in that.
And just the profile for the students is first generation college student, economic adversity, personal adversity. So that's what they're looking for to support our students even further.
Thanks, Robert.
All right, thanks, Robert. Appreciate it. Okay, we'll go to advanced planning, future meeting dates. Next meeting of the Board of Trustees will be held on Thursday, November 17th at 6 p.m. And then Tuesday, December 13th, where we'll be swearing in our new board members or member. And then suggested agenda items. Anybody? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to
moved.
adjourn. I have a
Second.
motion and a